Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Commander deck? Or rather, I should say, many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles deck? As Wizards of the Coast is doing something a little different with this set. Rather than designing multiple Commander decks set in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe, the casual play design team built a single 5-color pre-constructed deck for the entire Ninja Turtles franchise. As with most pre-constructed Commander decks, it brings with it a mix of brand new cards and several high-value reprints. Best of all, it's currently selling on the secondary market for less than MSRP. And that would be great news if the MSRP wasn't $69.99. Nice? Not really. Now, maybe if deck construction and reprint equity are both excellent, but even then, is it worth it to pay $70 for a Commander deck? This video will explore what kind of value is actually contained inside the deck and how well the deck itself is constructed. Is this Commander Precon something you can play with out of the box, or is it simply a product you're supposed to immediately disassemble and build other decks with? Are those other decks worth building, and how well does it play just by itself? All those questions and more are what's in store, so let's take a look. But on that MSRP of $69.99, do not pay more than that. Do not pay markups on this or any other product. Luckily, Micro Center, sponsor of this video, does not ever mark up its Magic the Gathering products above MSRP, and I think that fact is so simple, so pure, that I have made the following commercial about it. Oh, hello. Micro Center does not charge markups on Magic the Gathering products. Sometimes they are available for less, but never more than MSRP. Magic the Gathering products like Commander Deck, Booster Pack, Avatar Bundle, Collector's Booster Pack, or Box. And they, of course, also carry computers and computer parts. Computers like laptop, or also desktop, and everything in between and inside, such as motherboard, RAM, power supply. They carry many other electronics and electronics-related items, such as 3D printers and television sets. Everything at the highest of quality and lowest of prices. There's already 30 locations nationwide, with a brand new location opening up in Austin later this year. Congratulations, Austin. You're about to be invited to save at Micro Center. You know, when I visited Micro Center in person, I noticed that they sold blank, burnable CD-ROM discs, and this made me smile. Maybe there's not a huge demand for a product like that in this day and age, but Micro Center still carries them so that those people who still need them have access to them and can buy them at Micro Center, sold to them by their friendly staff who are available to say things like, "Hello, and how can I help you today?" And then to do those things for you at Micro Center. That's just the way things are done at Micro Center. In person. Human connection. Connectivity. Blank CD-ROM discs. Magic the Gathering packs, bundles, and boxes at MSRP? Yes. Below MSRP? Sometimes. Above MSRP? Never. At Micro Center. Always. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Commander Deck Turtle Power contains the following. 1 ready-to-play right-out-of-the-box deck of 100 Magic the Gathering cards, including 43 brand new to Magic cards, 21 of which are new legendary creatures. There are a total of 6 foil cards included with this Commander deck, 5 of which are borderless full art versions of the Fab 4 turtles and their dad Splinter. The 6th is a borderless full art Heroes in a Half Shell card that combines all 4 turtles in a single 5-color commander. Also included are 10 double-sided token cards, a cardboard deck box, and a strategy insert. MSRP is, again, $69.99, which you should never ever pay above, but miraculously, it looks like that isn't a big issue because, as of the recording of this video, it's actually being sold in many places for below MSRP. This may mean that the demand for the deck is lower than the supply many vendors have in stock, which is interesting to note. That being said, while it's great to see the deck going for less than MSRP, it's important to remember that the $70 MSRP is the result of a Universes Beyond markup, as MSRP for in-universe decks, such as the recent Lorwyn Eclipsed decks, is $49.99, which itself was an increase from $44.99, which itself was an increase from $39.99. And yes, this trend continued all the way back from 2011, when Commander Precons used to go for $29.95. So, in a sense, Turtle Power is still a much more expensive deck, even for its secondary market price, than any of the recent precons, including those from Lorwyn Eclipsed. If you would like to see a selection of Commander precons of previous sets that are selling for at or below $50, you can visit cardkingdom.com/TCC, where I maintain a Prof's Pick page of a wide variety of Commander precons that you can buy for $50 or less. Even if you don't want to buy from Card Kingdom and just shop at your local game store, this can give you a good idea of which decks to maybe ask to see if they have available. Cardkingdom.com/TCC also has a resupply of the Academic Deck Box, a deck box I helped design alongside Game Genic. And so if your local game store does not have that either and you want to pick one up, you can do so via my affiliate link. But even comparing Turtle Power to the last Universes Beyond precons we received, the ones for Final Fantasy last summer, the MSRP was the same, $69.99. The market prices for 3 of the 4 Final Fantasy decks, on the other hand, were significantly higher, between $100 and $120. Just one, Final Fantasy VI, was being sold for $54.95. Therefore, it is true to say that relative to the typical price for a Universes Beyond Commander deck, Turtle Power is selling for a very good price on the secondary market. There's one more product I want to compare Turtle Power to, the Commander Bundle from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's because of the way Turtle Power was designed. Yes, this is technically a complete and playable Commander deck, but really, with 21 legendaries across all 5 colors, heroes and villains, many of which have exciting and unique designs, it seems to me that Turtle Power is as much a Commander deck-building toolbox as it is a cohesive deck. 6 of the 21 legends have character select, which gives you 15 total combinations of 2 partners. There's also a partner pair of Bebop and Rocksteady as pirates from the Turtles in Time video game. This means if you were to disassemble Turtle Power, there are 29 different possible commanders to build a new deck around. Many of the non-commander pieces of the deck, too, are well suited for a number of different strategies beyond the precon itself. The mana base for Turtle Power also contributes to this perspective. Simply put, this is one of the strongest 5-color mana bases that we've seen in a precon ever. The deck has tons of great dual and multicolor lands, including reprints of City of Brass, Fabled Passage, and not one but 2 Battle Bond lands. Why don't they do this in every Commander precon? My goodness! There are also several Czech lands and Tango lands, and there's more, a brand new Command Tower variant that makes up for entering tapped with a powerful lifelink granting ability. I really think this is a neat new land. Though this great mana base makes this 5-color deck function better at a baseline than most 5-color precons do, it also provides an excellent jumping off point to build decks in many other color combinations, especially in Gruul and Golgari, the 2 pairs that received Battle Bond Duel reprints. In other words, Turtle Power feels like a better implementation of the Commander Deck Builder's Toolkit that the Avatar Commander Bundle purported to be. I would even argue that Turtle Power contains more useful tools for building multiple Commander decks than that Avatar Commander Bundle did, and it does so while also providing players who want to just play with a deck right out of the box a deck to just play with right out of the box. With that in mind, compare the cost of Turtle Power to that of the Avatar Commander bundle. Turtle Power's MSRP being $69.99, and the Avatar Last Airbender Commander bundle being $109.99. That one was actually selling for above MSRP. If you want it today, it will still cost you $128.68. The market price on Turtle Power is down to around $54. So Turtle Power will run you half as much money on the secondary market as the Avatar bundle did. Keep all these numbers in mind as we move into the financial value of Turtle Power. Before we discuss how well this deck plays by itself, let's first take a look at financial value. If you were to buy all the singles from Turtle Power for their lowest price as of the time of recording, you would have to pay a staggering, and I do want to emphasize these are pre-sale prices, $645.38. But hold on a minute, this value is the result of some ridiculous prices for those new to Magic original designs on the secondary market, particularly those borderless full art commanders. Okay, so each of these 6 commanders costs at least $25 right now, with the most expensive of them, Splinter the Mentor, currently going for $38.24. I strongly suspect that within a few days, the prices for these commanders in particular will have dropped considerably. I therefore do not recommend putting very much weight on these 6 cards when evaluating the true value of this precon. But even if we eliminate them, look at this. The total cost of the other singles in Turtle Power is still a hefty $441.63. So even without those $25 and up pre-sale priced legends, the deck is full of new cards that currently carry a price on the secondary market of $5 and up. In fact, 15 of the new cards are worth over $10 as of the time of recording. Again, I really don't expect these prices to hold, but this is the time period that we always compare pricing within, and so compared to other Commander precons, yeah, I can't deny there is a whole lot of value in Turtle Power. I feel the best bedrock for determining the true value of Turtle Power is by looking just at the reprints. There are a lot fewer reprints in this deck than there were in the typical Commander deck, even a Universes Beyond one. Still, there are some really high value reprints included in the list. The total value of the reprints in Turtle Power is $99.01, and again, that's just the combined total value of 57 cards. 45 cards if you include the basic lands. That is not half bad. To put that in perspective, the total value of all 100 cards in each of the 2 Lorwyn Eclipse precons was $95 and $93. So you're getting more value in reprints with Turtle Power than you did for every card combined, new and reprint, in either Lorwyn Eclipsed precon. What happens if we eliminate all the bulk? Well, without excluding any of the new cards, if you only bought the 63 cards worth $1 or more as of the time of this recording, you would have to spend $638.12. If you decided to wait on buying the borderless legends until their prices dropped, you'd still need to spend $432.37 on the other 57 non-bulk cards. If you only wanted to buy the reprints worth $1 or more, you'd need to spend $91. In other words, even if all you wanted out of the deck were those valuable reprints, you'd still need to spend more money to buy them all individually than you would by just picking up Turtle Power. No matter how you slice it, Turtle Power is one of the most valuable pre-constructed decks that we've ever seen, even when taking into account its sticker price. And no, I do not believe this deck will actually contain $600 or even $400 in value after it's been on shelves for a few weeks, or rather flown off shelves over the first few weeks. But regardless, prices would have to experience a meteoric fall across the board for this deck to not be worth its MSRP in just a few weeks. Now, what could happen is that the secondary market price rises while the value of the deck falls, and if that happens, the financial value will indeed look a lot worse. However, while the secondary market price is at about $57 for this deck, the financial value of the deck is really, really high. But enough about financial value. You're not buying this deck to invest your cash. You're buying this deck to potentially play it. So, is it even fun to play? Is it a functional deck or just 100 cards that you're supposed to disassemble for parts the moment you open the box? Let's take a look at gameplay. Turtle Power is a 5-color deck headlined by heroes in a half shell. A 5/5 for Wooburg mana with Trample, Haste, Vigilance, and Menace. Whenever one or more ninjas, mutants, or turtles deal combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each of them and draw a card. You can also headline the deck with Leonardo the Balance, plus any of the other 5-character select legends: Michelangelo the Heart, Raphael the Muscle, Donatello the Brains, Splinter the Mentor, or April O'Neil live on the scene. The sheer number of options you have to helm this deck is indicative of the gameplay experience. Yes, all of these cards deal with tokens, +1/+1 counters, or both. But all 7 potential cards for the command zone are mechanically and strategically distinct. If, for instance, you chose to set heroes in the half shell as your commander, then any creature in your deck that isn't a ninja, mutant, or turtle will feel out of place. I recommend running the aptly named Leonardo the Balance as your commander, as he's a sorely needed bridge between the 2 major archetypes in the deck. You can then include any of the other character select options as your other commander, though personally I'm fond of April O'Neil. I like that she makes a clue the moment you cast Leo, which then triggers Leo's ability. The clues she makes also provide very valuable card draw from the command zone. The diversity of gameplay is represented all throughout the rest of the deck list as well. Many of the legends in this deck would be great commanders in an entirely different deck, which means they're only kind of suited to the 99 of this deck. I'm also disappointed with the lack of ramp included in the list. The only sources of mana ramp at less than 3 mana are Soul Ring and Arcane Signet. Seriously, that's it. At 3 mana, you get Mona Lisa, Cultivate, Chromatic Lantern, and a few other sources of ramp. But by and large, especially relative to the designs of most Commander precons these days, this is not a deck that will get out ahead on mana very often. Instead, you'll curve out with creatures and slowly get your engines online. If the creatures in the list all synergized more tightly with the deck's overall gameplay, this would actually be a plus. It's a totally viable strategy to eschew mana ramp in favor of playing more high-impact creatures at the bottom of your curve. Unfortunately, this deck doesn't really have a singular cohesive game plan. As such, if you happen to open with a handful of creatures that don't enhance one another, you'll be very far behind once your opponents have developed their own mana and started playing bigger threats ahead of schedule. That all being said, the individual card quality of this precon is quite high. There are very few cards in the list that wouldn't be viable in the 99 of any deck. They're just not all well suited to the 99 of this deck. Still, with a mana base this good and card quality this high, Turtle Power is certainly capable of winning games and providing a fun gameplay experience. It's just not as good at doing that as many other Commander precons we've received over the past couple of years. While it's not the best standalone precon in terms of gameplay, Turtle Power is a much better deck builder's toolkit for Commander than the Avatar Commander bundle was, by far. The deck is chock full of powerful cards, valuable reprints, and exciting commanders to helm your deck. Where the deck falls short is the gameplay experience it offers as a standalone deck. Though the 5-color mana base is impressive, the game plan out of the box is scattered and incohesive. The lack of mana ramp coupled with the low synergy 99 means you'll likely be outgunned by many of the better precons put out in recent years. Final conclusion, if you can pick up Turtle Power for at or below MSRP, it is extremely worth it to buy, financially speaking. Even though the extraordinarily high value of singles contained within are likely to drop once this hits shelves, it is still likely to remain a great financial value in the weeks and even months to come. While the deck plays acceptably well out of the box, it is not as great as the typical Commander precon. But where it really shines is as a kind of Commander toolkit containing an enormous number of highly engaging cards to take apart and rebuild Commander decks in new directions with. In many ways, this lone Commander deck is a wide selection of potential Commander decks, all contained in a single box, playable by itself, but preferably to be broken down and built up. I feel the toolkit quality of this deck, along with the high financial value, warrants an A- grade, and again, I will repeat, this is far, far superior to the Avatar Commander bundle of last year. I hope very much this video has been of some help to you. Are you attending a pre-release event this weekend for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Check out our pre-release guide video, which will tell you everything you need to know to succeed at your local game store's pre-release, or you can just check out our video guide to the best new cards for the Commander 99 from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Both those videos can be accessed by clicking it's like an eye here on your screen, or of course, linked in this video's description. What's up? It's Summoner's Rift and Play. We're playing Riftbound again, and we've got the returning champion from our last Riftbound episode here today. But who else has joined us?
Well, I'm glad, Prof, you picked from the bottom of the barrel for people for this episode.
Krim, go ahead. Now, this is the greatest card text ever. If I die alone.
All right, you don't know me.
I do, actually. We work together very frequently.
We know this, right? We see this, right? I just want to. I've started a showdown. Does anybody have anything?
Yeah, just.
Oh wow. Okay.
With 0 open rooms.
Yeah. Tell me how you did that.